A moment of silence for Long Island. Alright, well, we're not on Long Island, we're here in Jersey. We're in the Pines, and I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts about what happened yesterday. Obviously, it's the morning. I figured let me get this video going before the wind picks up and starts causing noise in the recording. So, it's beautiful here, though. We have a beautiful day. Let's just listen to that quiet. Look at these beautiful pines, too. So here at Jake's Branch Park, which is somewhat south of Toms River a little bit. I have to talk about what the future holds for me on Long Island, and after what happened last night, surviving on Long Island is going to be much more difficult. Not only because Andrew Cuomo got reelected, which doesn't surprise me that much, but that the New York State Senate decided to go all Democrats, and now what's going to happen? The loss, the defeat of Elaine Phillips was a real surprise to me too. Anna Kaplan won, and it's just now. If you don't like hearing the word snobs, I suggest you stop playing the video right now, because I'm going to be saying that word a lot in this video. If you don't like the word uppity white finance professional, then just turn off the video right now, all right? Because I'm going to complain a lot about these people. What happened is a direct confirmation of what I've been seeing on Long Island the past 4 to 6 years, with just these city people coming out. Part of Long Island has lost its voice in Albany with the defeat of the Long Island Republicans in the state Senate. That would be Carl Marcelino, that would be Elaine Phillips, that would be Kemp Hannon. Is going to be very bad for us, because what's going to happen is now the elitists have gotten more control over New York, and what is going to happen now is remember those Republicans that got us the funding for the $40 million in Long Island Railroad maintenance? Well, that might go away now. Or it might get diverted to the Babylon branch. Probably get diverted to the Babylon branch is probably what's going to happen. Or the Port Washington branch. Now, Anna Kaplan, who is going to be my state senator, is from Great Neck. So she's going to be looking out for the folks on the Port Washington branch, I'm sure. Because there are a lot of people with money who use that branch too, all right? Meanwhile, my branch, the main line, is going to suffer. I'm going to have now hardly anyone to turn to if there's a problem at Mineola with the platform. We're going to be forgotten. And Mineola is going to really be, as I was walking to the train this morning, I saw a homeless guy, or I'm just going to say the word bum. If you don't like that word again, you can just turn off the video right now. I saw a bum going through town, just with bags of trash. I don't know, he was looking through the garbage, probably for cans or whatever. This is what the future of Long Island is going to become. With these Democrats in control, and also a lot of them are supported by Bill de Blasio, Mayor Bill de Blasio from New York City. They're going to put more of these crazy people on the streets, more bums, more thugs, more illegals. But they're going to be on the streets of not where they live. No, the elites on the South Shore, no, they won't have to deal with that. And the elites on the North Shore, they won't have to deal with that. We're going to be stuck with it in the middle of the island. And the middle of the island's going to be ruined, it's going to be ruined. Now, I understand there's a lot of frustration with our president right now, Donald Trump. And I think he has been a huge disappointment. I've said it countless times on this channel that I'm very disappointed that he has not lived up to all the things he said he was going to do. And he is part of that Wall Street corrupt crowd. He is. But you're not going to solve the problem by electing even more corrupt people. And that's what people in New York did. But this is all part of the changing demographics. The result, Long Island used to be very much like Ocean County and Monmouth County here in New Jersey. Solid Republican, conservative. And when the city people started coming, it slowly started changing. And now Long Island has become a majority, almost Democrat area now. Unfortunately, that means that we have these people that are coming out of the city, these white finance professionals, these preppy little dressed in their designer clothes, setting up their own little enclaves to only be with their own kind. They're setting it up in those areas on the South Shore, particularly between Merrick and Massapequa Park. Also Rockville Center and Lynbrook too. And in Suffolk County and Babylon, in places like Babylon, Sayville. They're starting to move into Lindenhurst too now, too. Patchogue. These are all going to become those areas. They have their own enclave now. And these are people that they're elitists. They are elitists. They don't care about what is going to happen to other people. They don't care that Andrew Cuomo released hundreds and hundreds of criminals onto the streets so they could vote, all right? Because they're not in their communities. They're not moving to Merrick. They're not moving to Wantaw. They're not moving to Great Neck. They're going to be moving to Mineola. They're going to be moving to Hicksville. They're going to be moving to Westbury. And our towns are going to get ruined. They're not going to be the ones who are going to have to deal with those consequences. And God help the folks in places like Hempstead. Hempstead, just forget about it. This is what we're going to get, all right? Elaine Phillips, she was also tried to stop New York City from taking our... New York City wants to get into our aquifer on Long Island. So now Elaine Phillips is not there. Now New York City can do that. And all these people, Kaplan, she's going to be working with Kaminsky to make sure that her kind is taken care of. And I think it's just clear that we can't beat the snobs. I have tried for the past couple of years here on this channel to really try my best to try to make people aware of what's happening here. What's happening, well, not here, but on Long Island, all right? Because we're not on Long Island. This is probably where my future is going to be, not on Long Island, because Long Island, unfortunately, the Long Island I grew up on, the Long Island of Pine Barrens and conservative family values, that Long Island is long gone. It is being replaced by an urbanized disaster of a clusterfuck with just complete disregard for one's fellow. They pretty much don't care. These city people coming in, they don't care about the way Long Island was. They are turning it into New York City. Minus the public transportation, of course. The only areas that'll get good public transportation are going to be on the pretty little Babylon branch, which will run just fine, while the main line suffers constant setbacks. And this is going to continue now. And now without Elaine Phillips there, things really look bad for us, because she was a real major voice for us. Anna Kaplan is not going to be that voice. Sure, she'll be joining Todd Kaminsky and making sure the Babylon branch gets everything that they need, and maybe the Port Washington branch will get everything they need, but forget about the main line. Forget about the main line. Forget about it. People wonder, why, John? Why does he complain so much about these snobby people? Look, it's because I wasn't around that when I was younger. All right, Long Island was a completely different place. If you're young, you don't understand what it used to be like, all right? It used to be a peaceful, quiet place. A place where you could feel safe. You wouldn't have to worry about gangs. You could walk around in the park and not have to worry about a homeless bum harassing you. It was beautiful. You could rely on the public transportation. You had MTA Long Island Bus. You had the railroad, which was run better years ago because you didn't have all this corruption with the favoritism toward the Babylon branch. That's gone now. That's gone, and it's been replaced by favoritism. It's been replaced by destruction of certain communities, particularly communities who are less than 90% white, and that's going to continue now, and it's going to accelerate. People here are cool. They're friendly. They're not all stuck up. It's not like Long Island. It's what Long Island used to be, and I hope it stays good here. We're far enough away from the city that I think it will. The problem is, particularly the western part of Long Island, you have, the wind's already picking up, you have these snobby finance professionals coming in, and they only want to be with their own kind. They shove their Audis, their Mercedes Benz, their butt cheeks Infinity logos in your face. They are very in-your-face kind of people. They come from, they're finance professionals, the banks, Wall Street, very arrogant culture, and that's what they're bringing to Long Island. And I feel out of place because I have nothing in common with these people. They can't appreciate the things I enjoy in life. They're obsessed with money, materialism, the fancy cars, the Prada bags, the Michael Kors, the Versace, all that shit. That's what they love. They're all into that upscale lifestyle that I've never been around in my entire life. You know, I'm not into that whole thing. You know, and so I feel like I really don't fit in on Long Island anymore. I don't want to move away. I've said it a million times, but after what happened last night, it's becoming more and more likely that I will probably have to leave Long Island within the next 3 years or so. And this is for several personal reasons that I'm going to discuss right now. Right? You already know it's been a struggle getting around with the public transportation. It's going to get worse. It's going to be less reliable. There's going to be more problems. And it's just going to cause more stress with me. All right? It's going to cause more stress every time I go out and say, oh, the trains are shut down. They're suspended. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to get where you need to go? You know, you have to rely on nice bus, which is also not reliable. All right? Well, personally, I have to deal with the mental health situation. I have a clinic that I've been going to for a long time that is trying to discharge me against my will because, and I've said before, that they are getting a lot of these drug addicts coming in, and there's more of a demand for these rehab services for them, and they're trying to get rid of the mental illness patients they've had for a long time. And going and finding another clinic is not easy because most of the other clinics are not located near transportation. All right, I'm fortunate that where I go is located fairly close to the train station in the Glen Cove area. All right, other clinics, I've looked. One in East Meadow, I'd have to go and I'd have to change buses in Hempstead. I'm not going to go through Hempstead. All right, and I don't want to depend on nice bus to get there and back. As a fly flies around me. The other one, it's by LIJ. Again, I'd have to depend on nice bus to get there. I don't want to depend on nice bus. And then the other one is in Bethpage on South Oyster Bay Road. That's nowhere near any transportation at all. It was near the N81, but the N81 was eliminated. And then the only other one that there is in Seaford. That is by the train station, but it's in Seaford. It would work great if I was living on the South Shore, but guess what, John? You're never going to be allowed to move back to Wandsworth, Belmore, or Merrick because those snobby jerks from the city have come in and taken over. They only want to be with their own kind. They've told me, I've been told by numerous people who live in those communities, in various internet places, that they don't allow housing for mental ill people. They don't allow it there. It's not allowed. It's an unwritten code. They just don't allow it. All right? It's illegal, but they get away with it. All right? So I'm not going to be able to get my mental health treatment. All right? I'm losing my transportation. And then worst of all, the one place I go to get away from it all, the Pine Barrens, well, that's being destroyed too, and that's the worst part of it, because I can't go to Deer Park and get into the woods without worrying about a homeless person popping out and trying to hurt me, all right? All right? And then for the other woods, they're getting knocked down and replaced by developments for rich people, all right? You know, this is just, it's just becoming, Long Island has lost its identity. It's almost like, it's a big song in the 90s called Losing My Religion by R.E.M. This kind of reminds me of, Long Island has lost its religion. It's lost its way. It's no longer a place that has an identity anymore. It's now merely just part of New York City. And that's what it's becoming. I feel like I have no place there anymore. I'm very upset about it. Obviously, I spent my whole life there. I was born in Suffolk County at Brookhaven Hospital in East Patchogue, and in 1976, and it's nothing like it was. It's nothing like it was, and I know things change, and I understand. But we have to respect our identity. We have to respect the people that were there first. And these idiots, all right, come in with their fancy cars, their designer clothes, and their fucking attitude, that they're better than everybody because of their white skin and because they work in the banks in Wall Street, and they only want to be with their own kind, and they don't care if those areas were blue-collar, middle-class areas. No, instead of having being able to get a house at $300,000 or $400,000, now you got to spend $750,000 for that house, and you got to spend higher in taxes, and they keep raising the taxes. And now you have these Democrats coming in, like Anna Kaplan, these other Democrats that come in, Cuomo. They're going to raise the taxes. This is all part of the end game to force us out. All right, if you can't see that, and apparently a lot of people didn't yesterday, it's too bad. It really is too bad. They don't want me around. They're taking away my services. Look at what happened with Nice Bus. And Nice Bus ridership, somebody commented, it was a while ago, that the ridership is actually just like 40,000 now or something. It's a quarter of what that Long Island bus used to carry. All right, and this is the end game. They want less people on the buses so they can cut more service, so they can drive out the poor working class citizens and the disabled. This is what they want, and they are getting their way. And what happened yesterday just proves that they are getting their way. And I don't know what my future is on Long Island. I can't imagine moving again after just moving a little over a year ago. Let alone moving to a completely new area like here. But if it comes to that, I have to leave the island. You know, people may say, John, it hasn't happened yet. You're still here. You still can get around. And maybe things will be okay. Maybe a miracle can happen. Somehow I could still eke out an existence on Long Island. But I'm under attack. The trees are under attack. The idiots are coming. And they keep coming. And more of them keep coming. And you know what? I don't care. I know not everybody in New York City is bad. There are lots of good people in New York City. When I use the phrase city, it particularly refers to these snobs. These Lily White, Liuba Gretchen Shirley, Laura Curran, Todd Kaminsky types. All right? Those are the kind of people I'm referring to. These finance professionals. They only want to be with their own kind. And they are racist. It's funny how they run on a campaign bashing Trump, and that's how they won in some ways. But they're actually just like him or worse, because they're racist too. They only want to be with their own kind. All right? People don't see that. They don't see that. And I don't know how many years it's going to be, how many years I have left on Long Island. It might be less than a year, or it might be another 4 years. Or maybe a miracle will happen and I can get to stay on Long Island. But the only way that's going to happen is somehow, if I can have somebody advocating for me, or I can find a partner in life that can help me, or a romantic interest, or a wife, or whatever. So far I'm not having any luck with that. All right? But even if all those things serve, do I really want to live on an island that is losing its woods, that's not safe, that has gangs? Now that Anna Kaplan and the Democrats have complete control, Cuomo and the Democrats have complete control in New York, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And if they're going to release all the illegals and say that's a sanctuary area, Mineola, they're moving them into Mineola. We're going to move them into Hicksville. We're going to move them in to all the towns in the middle of the island because they're less than 90+% white, and we're going to do that while our kind get to be nice and safe in our own lily white enclaves in Massapequa, Wantaw, and Great Neck, and all those other areas. You know, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You know, it's not worth living on Long Island if I can't feel safe. It's not worth living on Long Island if there's no woods to go to. It's not worth living on Long Island if I can't even get around. And it's not worth living on Long Island if I've got to be around a bunch of people who act like assholes driving their Mercedes-Benz, Audis, and Infinities, and whatever other luxury cars. I see a lot of Porsches now, too. I mean, these people just keep getting richer and richer and richer from Wall Street. Well, we keep suffering. It's got to end. But it's not going to end. It's only going to get worse. And I'm trying not to get too angry here. It's actually taking a lot, but I'm trying not to. Now, as far as the future of this channel goes, I don't want to make this video too much longer. The future of this channel, well, I've done what I could politically. And so you're not going to see any more videos about Cuomo, about the snobs, about discrimination, about all that stuff. The only videos that I'll continue to do is about our environment and the weather. So yeah, I will still continue to talk about projects in the Pine Barrens. I'm still going to talk about problems in our Pine Barrens for sure. But as far as the other stuff goes, Nice Bus, the Long Island Railroad, on this channel, no more. No more. I did what I could. I did what I could. I tried. And I'm glad I tried. I'm glad I gave it what I could. I'm glad some of the other YouTubers out there, Matt Camper, Andy's Randomness, tried to you know, inform people about just how bad Cuomo was. But unfortunately, there are just too many snobs. There are too many snobs, and you know, they have a lot of power. You know, the Wall Street, the banks, just own New York State government, and that means they own the MTA. That means they own the Long Island Railroad. They own everything, and they're gonna get their way. They're gonna purge us out, one by one. The senior citizens, the middle class, the low-income citizens, the disabled. We're going to be gone. One by one, we're going. All right? Because we can't afford it anymore. We can't afford fare hikes. Now the fare hike's definitely going to happen. All right? We can't afford our taxes going up. We can't afford even going out and buying things because things are so expensive on Long Island compared to everywhere else. They're pricing us out. Let's not forget about that bag fee that they have in Suffolk County. They're pricing us out one by one. We're going. My relative, he's having trouble making ends meet, and he's a good driver, but guess what? Those red light cameras in Suffolk County, he's had to pay up to $800 since they were put in. Why? Because they got a nice little scam going. If you don't stop long enough when you make a right on red, you get a ticket. And this happened to my relative a lot, all right? He can't afford living here anymore either. Maybe he's going to leave. Sure, my family and my friends are on Long Island, but they're slowly leaving. One by one, they're leaving. And what's left? Just tons of snobs, tons of creeps, swagger walking, pieces of garbage out there, bums, and all kinds of shit. All right? Because of that, I have to consider other options at this point. You know, I can't imagine living anywhere else. I'm the only one left that's really trying to save the Pine Barrens, but again, the snobs, they just control everything. You can't beat them. I know somebody, Mike C, said, you can't beat them, join them. I can't even join them, Mike. All right, because they only want to be with their own kind. They say, oh, John, just move to Belmar, live on the Babylon branch, and you won't have to worry about the train problems. But they won't let me live there. That's the thing. First of all, I don't want to move again. And two, they won't let me live there. They've told me, we don't want your kind. We don't rent to people with mental illness around here. No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I already said that. No programs. They want white finance professionals. That's what they want. You looking for an apartment in that area? Forget it. If you're not a finance professional, you are not getting in. You know. And I don't really want to live there. It's going to even be harder to get to the Pine Barrens. I don't want to live around a bunch of snobs. They're going to make me feel unwelcome every single day, so no, I don't want to join them. I think what happened at the national level is part of the checks and balances, and now it's bad that the Republicans had control. I don't like to see one party control everything, even whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, and now the Democrats have the House, all right? So now there's a check and a balance against Trump and the Republicans. That's a good thing. But the problem in New York is that the Democrats control everything, so there is no checks and balances anymore. That's when we're going down the slippery slope toward the snobs having full control. Those Long Island Republicans in the state Senate were the only thing stopping Cuomo from completely getting his way. Now there is nothing to stop him. And he's going to purge us out. He is going to purge us out. All right? So, you know, I'm very disappointed about what happened. But you know something? I've got a beautiful day here I'm going to enjoy, and I don't want to talk anymore about it. It's almost a 30-minute video now. I'm very sad I'm very upset. I feel like I don't belong on Long Island anymore. I feel unwelcome, you know. I have nothing in common with most of the people there anymore, you know, and it's very disturbing when you're home that you spent your whole life in. You don't even recognize it anymore. And it hurts. It hurts a great deal. It really hurts a great deal. I wish these city people would just stay in the city. If they want the urban lifestyle and the luxury apartments, stay the hell in Park Slope, Manhattan. Don't come out here and turn it into little Park Slopes in Manhattan. Don't come out to Long Island and ruin it. All right? But they got money. They can do what they want. That's what it's about in New York. You know, you want to have a good lifestyle? Sorry, you better get a job with the banks of Wall Street. It's too bad if you're mentally ill and you can't work. That's just too bad. You're not welcome anymore. I think Long Island is heading toward complete ruin now. And I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong, but I just don't see any way that it's going to improve. It's going to get a lot worse now. And I'm going to have to fight like hell to be safe, to get around, to keep my services. People think the Democrats, oh, they're for the poor, they're for the minorities, they're for the working class. Not these Democrats. Not Cuomo, not Laura Curran, not Steve Ballone, not Anna Kaplan, not Todd Kaminsky. No, not Gauguin or whatever his name is that defeated Marcelino. They are for the elites. They're all the same. They all dress and act the same in their freaking preppy clothes. Let me tell you, I hate that preppy look that they got going on. All right, they're always dressing up. They got the little Michael Kors bag. The men always wearing those freaking gay-ass Sperry shoes. You know, enough already. Get the hell off Long Island. But I can't. I know I can't stop them. They got the money, and I have nothing. My annual income is less than 15,000 a year. All right. I can't compete with people who are making 150 grand a year, 200 grand a year. No. I'm worthless compared to that, next to them. You know what? I may not have the money, but I have the morals. And I'm not going to get down on myself. But please understand, I can't do with these issues anymore. I did what I could. I fought hard. I tried my best, but I am done with it. All right? I'll continue to do weather updates. I'll continue to provide you nature videos and talk about the environment. But as far as the political stuff goes on this channel, it is done. It is over. You won't hear me talk about it. You won't hear me. I'll try not to use the word snob anymore. I'll try not to use the word white finance professional. I'll try not to use the word idiot. Or as they call them down here in Jersey, bennies. All right? I'll try not to use any of those words anymore. All right? I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I did what I could, but unfortunately, the snobs have too much money, too much power, and there's just too many of them. So, pray for me, pray for Long Island. I want to stay on Long Island. It's my home. I want to stay in Mineola, but it just got a lot harder yesterday. It just got a lot harder after what happened. And now the likelihood that I'm going to have to leave and quite possibly live in this area is quite real. There are a lot of challenges that I would face living here. A lot less transportation. It's a lot hotter. But sometimes it might be easier to deal with in the long run versus the heartbreak that I'm going to face if I stay on Long Island. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I think I've rambled on enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all these months. And if you want to hear regular transportation updates, talks about these politics, those three guys, Andy's Randomness, Matt Camper, and MTA prodigy Kevin, are the people you can tune to from now on with those issues. But for me, I've done what I could. I'm stepping aside, and I'm taking the Pioneer Trail out of here. All right, and it may just be the Piney Trail out of Long Island, right here. I can't rule it out. If that's what's meant to be, that's what's meant to be. But thank you for watching. Take care. And pray for us. Pray for me. Pray for Long Island. We're heading down a rough road.